This right here is my SAMA IM01 Pro Micro-ATX case, which comes with expansion chamber, which I'm currently not using. So today we're going to take a look at my airflow configuration inside this case and we're going to make it better. So now I'm going to take all the panels apart and show you what the fans look like. So this is the bottom of the case, and there are two 120mm fans as an intake pushing air inside from the bottom. And I'm going to flip the case upright. Inside the case we have a dual tower cooler with two 120mm fans, and we have two exhaust fans, one at the back, one at the top, and they're both 120mm. What I'm planning on doing today is actually flipping this case upside down. So that's gonna look something like this. We're gonna flip it upside down. So this is gonna be the bottom, this is gonna be the top. Our GPU is gonna be upside down, which is perfect because it's not gonna sag anymore. So now we're gonna remove these fans, which were at the bottom before. We're gonna remove these, and we're gonna install these underneath our CPU cooler as intake, so they're gonna be pushing air directly onto our CPU cooler, and it's gonna exit out the back. And this fan right here, we're not gonna be using it anymore because the top fans are gonna be at the bottom. So we're only gonna have two intakes, one exhaust. And then I'm gonna run Cinebench and see if we have made a difference in our temperatures. So we have now air pushing directly at our VRM heatsink, which is right in there. There you can see the heatsink for the VRM. We have air pushing at our cooler onto the VRM, and even our RAM sticks that are underneath our CPU cooler. So this is what the airflow looks like. And of course it's going to be pushed directly out, so two intakes, one exhaust. And for our GPU, we have nothing. Because our GPU is upside down, because the case is upside down, it's going to be able to draw as fresh air in from the top. So I'm going to go ahead and plug these fans back in. And then we're gonna boot inside Windows and I'll show you what the temps look like. This is what the finished product looks like. I still have to put all the panels back. But I think we should have much better thermals now. Since we flipped the case upside down, our panels also go in upside down, so that's why I was having trouble. Here we go. This build now is complete. Yes, our I/O is upside down, but in this case you can actually take the front panel off, flip it upside down, put the I/O at the bottom, move the power supply. But I don't want to do all that. I'm okay with having it up here instead of at the bottom here. And now let's test the thermals inside this case. And now let's see what the idle temps look like. So we're idling at 33 degrees. This is a 16-core processor. It's the Ryzen 9 5900 XT with 16 cores and 32 threads. So we're idling at 33 degrees, and now let's go ahead and start our multi-core test in Cinebench R23. By the way, idle wattage was about 30 something watts. We've jumped up to 170 watts already, and our CPU temp is 64 degrees. So normally my CPU would get up to 75 degrees with the current PBO settings that I have. And my VRM temp would get up to 90 degrees. So let's see how that's doing. Wow, that's really low. It's only at 45. So it's around 45. Wow, that's actually really low. Our CPU has not exceeded 68 degrees so far. So 75 was my top max before with my old configuration. I have not touched the fan profiles or any settings inside BIOS. So this is the same settings we had before changing our fan configuration. And I'm super surprised we haven't even touched 70 degrees. Because 75 degrees was my max before, with 90 degrees on my VRM. Our VRM has jumped to 53, our voltage regulator. Wow, that's a big difference in temperature. So we have yet to hit 70 degrees. Even if it's 3 degrees or 4 degrees less than what we had before, that's a win situation for us. And for some reason, we're actually getting a higher score this time. I don't know why, but yeah. So we are maintaining all core clock of 4.2 gigahertz. Let me just give you a look here. So all 16 of our cores is achieving 4.25 gigahertz. That's pretty amazing. While gaming, this chip can do 4.7, and on single core, it jumps up to 5 gigahertz. Our temps have drastically improved. Our maximum is only 70 degrees, so it's 5 degrees less than what we had before. At the same BIOS settings, at the same fan profiles, we haven't touched nothing. At 170 watts, we're only at 70 degrees, 69, and that's super amazing. So this proves having an inverted setup like how I do can give you better thermals. And I'm just gonna let it run in front of the camera. I totally forgot to mention, but looking at our RPMs for all the fans, our fans are spinning way less than they were before. So before we were actually maxing these fans out around 2000 RPM. And now looks like all our intake and exhaust fans have hit 1700 max, while our CPU fan is only hovering around 1500. So that can go up to 1800. So without even adjusting the fan curve, our fans are actually spinning slower because the PC is able to manage heat much more efficiently than before. So that is amazing. Alright, looks like we just finished our test and we scored 27,329, and that's a really good score. I can achieve up to 28,500, but for that I would need to run very high PPT and EDC, run different curves on the optimizer, but without touching the BIOS settings, without touching anything, we achieved almost 200 points more than before, a little more than 200. So that's good. And our max CPU temp was 71 degrees. So that was the maximum CPU temp. And our maximum VRM temp was 75.5 degrees. So that being said, we have decreased 15 degrees on our VRM compared to before. We were touching almost 90 degrees, sometimes even 92. So 15 degrees there, and on our CPU we decreased 4 degrees. So it was hitting 75 degrees and we brought it down to 71. So if you like this video and if you like the concept behind this video, please hit the thumbs up, and if you want more content like this, please subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you for watching.